Hi, I'm Paul Mitchell. I'm the president of the Texas Freethought Convention, and I have here with me none other than Dan Barker, standing next to his wife, Annie Laurie Gaylor. And so we want to get some thoughts from you about why you're here. What do you think about what's going on inside? And feel free to ad-lib and on whatever you want. So,
yeah, what's going on inside is just sad. It's pathetic. It's disappointing. All those people in there with their arms raised to heaven, swaying before the slave master and quoting, and all this heavy rock music that's designed to, get you all excited and dancing. And here in a country that kicked out the dictator, we had a proud Revolutionary War that kicked the sovereign Lord, Master, King, dictator off our shores. But here's all these people, all these Americans in there going, "Oh, I submit to you, glory to Jesus," as if that's going to solve problems, right? So, so we're all here for two reasons: to protest the state church angle, which the governor has crossed, we're convinced that he's crossed, but also to protest the indignity or the affront of something like prayer as a way to solve problems, which it isn't. Nothing fails like prayer. Governor Perry seems to be admitting that the National Day of Prayer on May the 5th was a failure, because he's got to come back and do it again, right? So, and he prays for rain and it doesn't happen. Well, duh. There's no God, there's no prayer, there's no supernatural, none of that. So, and if somebody doesn't say the emperor has no clothes, the emperor's going to continue in his delusions, even though he looks like a total stupid, So here we are to say that.
Yeah. So you were in that industry at one point. You were in the Christian music industry at one point, right?
Yeah.
And so, what are your thoughts about like the whole production in there? Is it on par with pretty much everything else that's been going on, like what you're used to, or is how is it?
Well, when I was coming up as a minister in Christian music in the 60s and 70s, at that time, rock music was demonic in the Christian world. Rock music with the drums and the bass was sensual. It was to appeal to your sexual drive. Rock music was this horrible thing. And there were even people like Tipper Gore who were campaigning against rock music. Now that it's become more socially acceptable, now the Christians have realized the power of rock music, the power of that kick drum and that bass to touch these emotional chords in your minds. And it works no matter whether it's religious or not. It's almost like going into a rock concert. People are standing up and, it's the music. But if you're a believer, you think that those feelings you have are connecting you with the supernatural world, and it confirms, it reaffirms all of this to you, And it's a free country. They can go make fools of themselves. They can listen to whatever they want, banjos or accordions or whatever. I mean, it's a free country. But for the governor to get up there and pretend that prayer is going to make some kind of a difference, by pretending that, he's admitting that he's inept. He can't do his job. And he even said so. He said there's some problems that are spiritual that don't have an earthly solution. We'll find it in heaven on our knees, basically. To protest the state church is one thing, but just to let the world know there's a growing number. In fact, the fastest growing religion, in quotes, is not religion. We're here, we're respectable, our opinions are important and they matter, and we protest what they're doing. They can do it, but we can protest.
Right. So you guys had to get creative this year. The Freedom from Religion Foundation, you guys actually tried to buy some billboards in town, but they wouldn't let you. So what did you do instead of that?
Yeah, well, Annie Laurie tried and tried. She called all these companies, and we've had mixed results around the rest of the country. For 4 or 5 years now, we've had more than 300 billboards all over the country, and in places that you wouldn't even think would allow it. But because this was a protest of a governor, we think it added another level of reticence. So we couldn't buy a billboard, not even near Reliant Stadium, but anywhere in this area. So Annie Laurie found a company that does mobile billboards. It's been driving by. If you've seen it, you can get a shot of it.
That's awesome.
Which has our thing of beware prayer by pious politicians, and then my line: get off your knees and get to work. And then she also found the airplane. What do you call the banner behind the
aerial banner?
Yeah. And that's been going for 8 hours today. It's going up right now.
Yeah. There it is.
I got as best as I could with my camera. Yeah. Awesome. So it's going by.
When it's in front of the cloud, would that be better?
No, it's better in front of the sky.
Well, that's good.
I'll try another one.
I know you have some activism to get back to, so.
Oh yes, the activism is finding the shade. The shades move our hair.
Yeah. So this is Paul Mitchell with the Texas Freethought Convention, saying thank you to the Freedom and Religion Foundation with Dan Barker, and we'll see you guys soon. Thanks.
Bye. Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
All right. Thanks.
We'll make sure we pimp you guys all over the place.